Okay, so my
Guaranteed
question
result.
is it bad to eat a lot and then instantly work out right after? That's what I was asking. After eating a big meal, should
Yeah,
you go and work out right after? What do you
yeah.
think? As somebody
Uh,
who trains and works out.
my honest opinion, I think eating a lot, it really depends on what we mean by a lot of food. I would
Okay,
say,
like right now, you just had a big plate of chicken,
yeah,
beans, and rice. How long should it be before you go hit the gym?
honestly,
For you.
at least for me, I would say 30 minutes I'm good. For most people, I'd say an hour to maybe an hour 30. But
So people who like, okay, so like I work out with someone, sometimes he'll eat and want to work out within like 10 minutes. Is that smart or that's probably not a good idea?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad. You just have to remember that all that food is still being digested, so it could upset your stomach and it could make it maybe a little bit harder for it to digest. Especially, it really depends on how you're working out. If you're doing like a lot of like activity where you're moving around a lot or like jumping around, something like that, it's gonna shake up in your stomach. You're probably gonna end up puking, or you're not gonna feel well because that's not good. That's like eating a big old plate and then going to play basketball. Like that type of stuff, different. But if I'm just lifting weights and I'm doing, like just normal reps, let's say it's like a bench day or a chest day, I should say, and I'm just doing bench and stuff like that. Most of the time, I'm not too strenuous on like my stomach and stuff like that, or my core area where a lot of that food has to digest, so I don't have that big of an issue. So I honestly say if I'm working out, doing just normal resistance training day, I can honestly eat pretty much just simple carbohydrates like some honey, banana, peanut butter, something like that. Something that's going to be pretty quick to absorb into the bloodstream. And 30
So
minutes
you said
before.
honey is a simple carb? What'd you go?
Yes. So honey is a simple carbohydrate since it
So,
is.
so what's a complex one? What's the difference?
So a complex carbohydrate compared to simple is pretty much that it is going to be slower to digest. So complex is something that is going to be, let's say, like an apple. Apple's a complex carbohydrate. Something that has most of the time fiber in it. That's going to slow down the absorption rate of how fast the carbohydrates is absorbed to your bloodstream. It's pretty much the gist of it. So that's why I say honey is a simple carbohydrate, because it's pretty much in its cleanest form already. Pretty much right when you take it, it's going to absorb straight into your bloodstream. So that's why I always say I take that pretty close to when I'm going to work out, because
For the energy?
yes, that window is going to be pretty short. So
What about oatmeal? What is that considered?
definitely complex.
Okay.
Oatmeal is a very complex carbohydrate, very slow, very satiating because it's very bulky usually in its food. But yeah, like I said, lots of fiber in it, so it's going to slow down your absorption rate regardless of what you put in it, honestly, because most things bind to that. So yeah, I say if you're eating before working out, just try and get in something that's going to be I say a mix, maybe a little bit of complex, a little bit of simple, to give it that long term, especially if you're working out for an hour or two, and then having something simple, and maybe even having it while you're working out. I used to do it all the time. I used to take honey actually with me when I worked out, and I would take it like every 2 to 3 workouts, depending on how many workouts I did and how long I was working out. But having that there just fueled the rest of my workout, so I didn't lose a lot of my energy, and I had a better workout overall. So,
And now after a hard workout, what should a person be eating afterwards? So say you have you do your legs, your back, you do whatever. You have an overall day. What should the average person be eating after they work out, and how soon? And why?
That's a big one, because a lot of people think they have to eat it right after. Now, I'm not saying some people's anabolic window isn't different than others, but sometimes people think they have to do it like 30 minutes after, or you just lose it. Like, it has to be right after, or you just missed your whole window. In my honest opinion, it could be an hour to a couple hours after. Some people say it could be even longer than that. It could be like 3 to 4.
Okay.
So it really just depends, I feel like, on that person, and maybe how accustomed they've become to taking it, because your body will know its own absorption rate based off of how many times you've done it. It's going to get used to it. So most of the time when I'm eating, I would say probably an hour is like kind of like the max I prefer. I know it's usually longer. It just makes me feel better. And if I'm eating, get enough carbohydrates to make sure you replenish all the glycogen that you lost during the exercise, and then just make sure you're adding in protein as well. I always say that carbohydrates, something that's going to be pretty light on your stomach, not too heavy after you strenuate yourself for so long. So just get a good mix of both, I would say.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.